Today I'm going to show you how to get moss for your trees. Apart from looking lovely, moss is great for your trees. It stops the top layer of soil in your pot from drying out as fast, so roots are more likely to grow near the surface. Unfortunately, the only way to get moss is to actually start with moss. It doesn't magically grow out of nothing. Luckily, if you've seen my other videos on moss, you will know moss is everywhere. It can also grow fast, and you can easily turn a little into a lot. First thing to do is collect the moss. Just dig up a little section. The shape and size doesn't matter. Just scoop it up and make sure you leave some behind so it can grow back. And well, that's how you get moss. As for putting on your trees, there's a few different ways you can do that. The first technique is to just place these chunks of moss directly onto your pots. Just soak the moss for a little bit. It's easier to push on when it's wet. Just place it where you want it and build like a patchwork quilt of moss. This is by far the easiest way, but you need plenty of moss to do it. I will show you this being done shortly. If you're a bit short on moss, you can try the second technique, which I'm doing now. You get your pieces of moss and chop them up. This is easy to do if it's slightly drier. It doesn't matter if there is little foil in the bottom, that won't really affect anything. When I lived in London, the only moss I could find was between the paving stones in the street. This method helps turn a little moss into a lot more. It's a little slower and the initial results aren't that good, but long term it's fine. I've seen people grate the moss on a sieve to get it chopped up. Either way, once your moss is all chopped up, you just need to add some water and mix it into like a paste. I've added some bone meal. This is just to help my mix be a bit more pasty, and also it's going to add some fertilizer to the tree. You don't need to do this. Moss also doesn't need fertilizer. And I've also definitely added way too much water. That's fine, I can squeeze that. All you do is add the paste to the pot. It will eventually grow in and look as delightful as the patchwork moss. So while filming this, I had a few issues with my camera. It seemed to delete a lot of footage before I had it saved. So that's why the order of what I'm showing you is a bit off, and as you can see, this pot is now already half done. Techniques 3 and 4 are effectively the exact same as the first two I've just told you. The only difference is you just put a layer of chopped sphagnum moss down and then add the moss on top. On the left, I've already put some sphagnum down and added both patches of moss and some of the moss paste. On the right, I've just put patches down. People say they put the sphagnum layer down to help the moss take hold and grow. I don't really understand this, as moss will grow on like a vertical concrete wall. I don't think it needs any help to grow on soil. But sphagnum does apparently have some good properties for root growth. So I guess if you've just repotted your tree, a layer of sphagnum moss on top might help the freshly cut roots. I don't know. I have extra sphagnum moss, so I'm going to give it a go this year on anything I repot. I can't really see it doing any harm. I'm now filling up the middle with the moss paste. As you can see, it's just chopped moss. It's kind of dampish. It's not too wet, it's not too runny. So anyway, here's the moss a few months later. As you can see, it's all looking good. I've added some lines so you can see which area had what techniques. I probably should have divided these sections out a bit more, but whatever. Here is just the patches of moss. Moss paste on its own. Then we've got the sphagnum underneath with the moss patches on top. And lastly, sphagnum moss with the moss paste on top. So overall, you can see all 4 techniques work pretty well. And as you had to put up with some dodgy footage, here's a little treat. This stone is just to hold up the tree as it's very weak and floppy, but you have a peek underneath. Oh yes, lots of roots. Hopefully that helps you moss up your trees. Now I have more access to moss, I'm going to be mossing a lot more this year. Thanks for watching. See you next time.